I hate your guts. I can't believe that we're married. Ever feel like that? Does that mean that you're in a bad relationship? I got good, bad news for you. Which would you like first? It means you're in a relationship. Welcome to the human race. Look, here's the thing. We long for the divine. What we really want in our heart of hearts is what we didn't get as kids. We want a god or goddess who's going to complete us, love us unconditionally, be there for us, maybe an AI boyfriend or girlfriend, I don't know, but a real life person is just as limited and difficult and imperfect as guess who? You. Oh no, we long for the divine, but for 40 years I've been saying it's precisely the collision of your particular imperfections and mine and how we deal with that collision. That's the stuff, the guts of real intimacy. This is what you won't find in an AI program. Creative tension, conflict, a challenge to dive deeper and grow. AI girlfriends will not make you grow. Real spouses will. My friend Carol Gilligan quoted the Bible, and I was in Jerusalem, and a bunch of Orthodox Jewish therapists knew exactly what the phrase was. Everybody knows that God made Eve out of Adam's rib to comfort him, but the actual Aramaic reads to comfort him by opposing him. Creative conflict. It's good for you. Doesn't always feel good. James Framo, the father of couples therapy, wrote back in the 50s when it was assumed the person you were sleeping with was your spouse. He said, the day you turn to the person lying next to you and you say to yourself, oh my God, this is a dreadful mistake. This is not the person I fell in love with. I've been had. That day, says Framo, is the first day of your real marriage. Welcome to humanity. Our partners disappoint us. Our partners, in ways small, I hope, sometimes large, betray us. Our partners do the very thing that we hired them to never do. We marry our unfinished business. We fall in love with people we think will never ... and yet here we are, and they're ... dotting to beat the goddamn band. How did I wind up here? And when you're there, when you have moved from harmony to disillusionment, let me tell you a few things, both reassuring and maybe not. It's maybe sobering. One, when you're in disillusionment, it's dark. You're talking to the guy who coined the phrase normal marital hatred. And as many of you have heard me say, it's true. I have been talking about normal marital hatred for 30 plus years around the world. Not one person has ever come backstage and said, Terry, what did you mean by that? It's okay to have a part of you at times hate your partner. A part of them at times hate you, just like your kids. Come on, Daddy, I hate you. Okay, I know, but go to your room. It's okay. Nobody's going to die. Harmony, disharmony, and repair is the rhythm of all relationship. I got this from the great infant observational researcher, Ed Tronick. He wrote a great book called The Power of Discord. And Ed would watch mothers and infants and then fathers. There's harmony. The little baby is molded like no bones. And then gas or a noise, and the baby freaks out, and the mother freaks out, and they're both freaking out. And then, boom, the nipple's accepted or the gas passes, and we're back to bliss again. Harmony, disharmony, repair. It's like walking. Balance, imbalance, balance. And what Ed really highlighted for me, and I brought it into adult relationships, is that unbalance part is A, perfectly natural, and B, a bear. You don't get this in Hallmark cards. You don't get this in little cheery, idealized, romantic bromides about relationship. We drive each other crazy I want to write a book about the 8 million things that partners do to, drive each other nuts. Belinda fidgets. I cough. I get into sneezing fits. She can't stand it. She's never still. It drives me berserk. I drive myself berserk. Okay. Anyway, I was doing a men's group with a lovely bunch of men, and one guy told a story of how his wife showed up at his office. He's the boss, held his calls for an hour, unpacked a picnic basket with a beautiful wine, had a lovely lunch on the floor, a little making out, not too bad, and packs up and leaves. And all the guys are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And he said, yes, it almost makes up for the way she chews her potato chips. Harmony, disharmony, and repair. Look, I believe in the serenity prayer from 12 step. Do what you can and accept what you can't and know which is which. So do you not like the way your partner chews their food? Well, tell them in a nice way and ask them to make a little less noise for you. Do you not like the way they're irritable in the morning? Well, you find out what might help. Maybe a cup of coffee and a smile. Maybe leave them alone. I don't know. You do what you can, and then you ask yourself, is it worth accepting what you don't seem to be able to change? And of course, that's after you get help, if you need it, from an RLT therapist, an ally. Disharmony is real, and with skill and good work, you move from disharmony, disillusionment, into repair. Honey, I really didn't like it when you ... This is how I felt. This is the story I told myself. And this is what I would like. Can you say you're sorry? Can you reassure me you're going to work on doing better next time? Yes, I can say those things. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Done. And I have a whole section to teach you on the steps of repair. Harmony, disharmony, repair. Disharmony is where all the skills come in. Moving out of that state back into closeness and repair takes skill, but it also takes the wise adult. It takes the part of you that will use those skills. And when you're in disharmony, we are rarely in our prefrontal cortex. We're triggered. We go to more primitive parts of the brain, fight, flight, fawn. We do is automatic. Take a breath, take a break. This is what we call relational mindfulness. Get out of the part of you that will inevitably be triggered when you're in disharmony, disillusionment. The part of you that learned how to cope as a kid, move beyond that to the present-based adult part of you. Take a breath. What could I say or do that might be helpful here? Can you control it? No. But what would give me my best shot? Moving out of that automatic response when you're in disharmony into something thoughtful and intentional, that's the way out of this mess. That's the skill, the first skill, the skill you have to master before you will use any of the other skills. Remembering love, even when you're in that space of disillusionment. Remembering that the person you're with is not the enemy, that you live with them, that it's in your interest to do what you can to make things better over and over and over again. That's the opportunity. Belinda and I will sometimes smile and bow, and one or the other will say, I just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to work on myself. God bless. If you found this helpful, stay tuned. There are others, including the steps of repair, in this YouTube channel. Hope to see you again. Be well.